P. Crawley writes, this is a banger, Saint. Are the majority of young black women doomed? If not, what is their saving grace besides a good upbringing? Peace of saints. I truly believe their saving grace is number one, this ism. And then number two, it is shame. We have to bring back shame and enforce our culture. The truth is that we have to do that even at the risk of, being canceled, being fired, being shunned. We have to do it. And when you look at cultures where men still enforce their culture, whether you're looking at Iran or you're looking at Afghanistan or Saudi or Somalia or Sudan or Ethiopia, these are places where they don't care how liberal white folks feel. They're about to do what they're going to do. Really quickly, when I was in, was that Zanzibar? Yeah, I was in Zanzibar. Check this out. I'm in Zanzibar, which is an island off the coast of Tanzania, and they have a house of Freddie Mercury, which was a singer in, was that in Queen? Queen was at the rock group. Yeah, he's a lead singer in Queen. He's now dead. And so his house is like a museum, right? And I'm walking by. I never heard of Freddie Mercury. I never heard of Queen. I'm a hip hop kid. I'm just looking at it. I look at it, and a dude walks over to me. He was just sitting down across the street from me. He walks over to me. He says, this guy is gay. Here, we don't like the gay. And then just walked off. Like he was just there to give me a public service announcement. And I had to respect it because he was letting it be known, like around here, like in America, do what y'all do. But around here, we ain't with it. And we going to let everybody know we don't care what anybody says. And that's how men must enforce their culture, which is to say, when you see one of them broads with them hair hats, you let her know, nah, that ain't cool. You see what one of them broads, they stomach hanging over their belt, you let them know, nah, shorty, cover that up. Number one, cover that up because it's disgusting looking. And number two, make it disappear at some point. I don't care what measures you got to go to. Go ahead.
I'm gonna add on to this because
go ahead, add on.
I in part blame you guys a little bit because you guys are still having sex with them. And I think
beating it up. Beating it up.
No, because I think because now it's telling them that it's acceptable. If you guys are like, y'all not gonna get none, they'll stop. What do sisters what do they covet? I mean, they love the brothers, they do. And if all of you said no and turn them down, they're gonna be like, all right, let's throw these wigs away. But the fact is, you guys are still having sex with them.
That's true. And unfortunately, that ain't about to change. Look, if it got some jelly, if it got some jelly and it's jiggling, nah, that's getting beat down, sis. I'm sorry, it's getting beat down. I ain't speaking for myself. I'm speaking for these savages out here in these comments.
It gives them like a false sense of security where they think, oh, I'm still desirable by men. They don't know the difference between desirable because he'll sleep with you and actually desirable in the sense of taking you seriously, having a family with you, committing to you, staying with you long term, not just having sex with you for 6 months. There is a big difference, and it's all convoluted. So
no, you're right. You're right. And that's why we have to shame and shun these fat hoes. I want that on my tombstone. Shame and shun these fat hoes. Because unfortunately, if the human being is programmed, particularly the male, programmed to dominate and to spread their seed, and we have seed produced the whole duration of our lifetime, the human male animal is kind of programmed to be on go time, and this has been consistent against all the throughout all the racial groups of man. I mean, even the Asians, people are like, oh man, they're timid, and I'm like, okay, they timid, but look at the population in India and China, they ain't that timid. They getting it done. But the point is that it's the shame and shun. And I think the shaming and shunning is very powerful for females, because when you observe the behavior of the human female, you see that the compliance level with trends and prevailing culture is exceptionally high. You can find a woman of every race wearing long eyelashes. You can find a woman of every race plucks her eyebrows. Find a woman of every race do these things so consistently. Conversely, with regards to men, you're not going to find a hairstyle that's going to cross all the racial categories. It just won't happen with men. You're not going to find a grooming method that's going to cross all the racial categories with men. And so when you shame and shun the women in a very consistent way, they're going to start to behave.
Mhm.
Now, I agree with you. We should be controlling, we can't just be laying pipe like a plumber. And it's gonna be the Saints who are gonna be the ones I'm like tell like, no, you too fat to ride this ride. You weigh too much for this ride. But most of us are not saintly. This is just the leadership class. You hear me? So we got
Facts.
to shame these fat hoes. Pete Crawley writes, y'all remember when that fat black chick had more? You know what's crazy about some people is they create narratives in their head. The level of just bestial behavior among the African American woman is sometimes concerning. I was at a resort in Las Vegas. There's a very long line. Most of the resorts in Las Vegas have VIP lines, right?
Yeah.
And they're usually empty, or they don't put up a sign because they don't want people to like ask about it.
Yeah.
So I was in one restaurant that I hadn't gone to before. It was like 3 a.m. So I walked to the front and I say, "Hey, is there a VIP line?" And this fat black woman wearing a highlighter dress who's at the front of the line, she turns like, "You need to get in line with everybody else. You ain't special." And in my head, I was like, "Damn, shorty! Like I could have sworn I was talking to this person right here. I wasn't talking to you." I, my first thought was like, I should slap this shit out this bitch. I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't gonna lie to you. My first thought was, I should slap the daylights out this bitch right here. But anyways, I turned back and Shorty kept talking to the point where I had to shun and shame her, like I said earlier, because what I realized is that when you allow this kind of behavior to go on unpunished, then they think it's okay. They think they can get away with it. And one thing I've noticed with humankind is that two things drive them: the pursuit of pleasure and the avoidance of fear, right?
Mm.
And so you got to put that fear into people. I'm a big believer. So immediately I was like, "You fat bit, you shouldn't even be allowed to eat here. You didn't ate too much." I went in on her big ass. But I thought it was funny that every now and then in the comments you see somebody writing. It was generally a fat black woman. She write, "Why did you just walk up to this woman and start saying these things to her?" And I'm just like, that never happens in real life. No one ever walks up to a bee's nest and just slaps it to see what the bees or the hornets are going to do. Like, no one approaches a fat black woman. We already know they're unruly and disagreeable and unpleasant, right? Like, no one looks at black women as like someone who's going to be like a good time. Like, we all look at them as like a potential, like a ticking time bomb. Or is that just me? We get into stereotypes right now. Is that just me?
No, I'm in the same boat. Like they react the same way to me, and I'm a woman. So, but I think at the end of the day, what really you're making me laugh. What really needs to happen? Okay, so what happens is these women, they're not disciplined. They're not, obviously. So they're gluttons. So the issue when you're not disciplined like that is you don't fear real life consequences.
Mm,
You don't. And it's just so unhealthy. It's like having a child. If you don't teach your child discipline, then what happens? Life will. And that's how they
mm.
end up in jail. That's how they end up dead, whatever.
Right.
And this is what's happening. A lot of these women, they were not disciplined in childhood. And now they're grown adults with no discipline. And it's really sad to see. So I think there's something we should do
I'm
because
telling you.
they need discipline. They need
Yeah.
discipline. And that'll save their life. I mean, that's the best way I can say.
And there's 2 points. So you had mentioned they get at you like that. I imagine that they really hate you too.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm deep.
There's 2 pieces to it. One thing I did forget to mention, I want to let all the gentlemen know, and this is a true story. I forgot to mention this, but just a side note, like this is a fat, chocolatey woman that was doing this. I know she fat and chocolatey, and you skinny and light skinned. Like you're her arch enemy, low key. Like, I know
Yeah.
she hates you, boy. Woo-wee. Them white teeth, I know she don't like you at all, just from looking at you. But moreover, the first thing I actually did say to this fat black woman, I almost forget because this wasn't on video. The first thing I said, "Is your man here? Like, go get him," because I was gonna beat this. I was gonna put hands on this boy so bad just so that like they had to go home and suffer that. Number one, so like by the time he got home, he was probably gonna put hands on her, like, "Oh, you didn't set me up for that."
Yeah.
But it was unsurprising. I said, "Where's your man at? Go get your man." And
Mhm.
she said, "I don't have one."
Mhm.
She was just there with her girlfriend.
Mhm.
And I think that was also very instructive in that, generally speaking, it's the female that's not spoken for that is displaying these behaviors, and she's single for a reason. And that's
Yeah.
the unfortunate thing. But yeah, I imagine they absolutely hate you just to see you. They mad as hell. They
Oh
mad
wow.
as hell.
Yeah. It's sad. I have so many stories, but
Oh yeah,
from
give me
childhood
one.
to now.
Just
It's so many.
give me an adulthood one because I ain't gonna blame the children for being ignorant. Give me an adulthood one.
Okay, this is a true story. So I used to work for the Department of Justice. I was a government contractor, and so the documentation there is secret. There's a lot of stuff you just have to be very careful over the documentation. So this one African American sister who happened to be overweight, who didn't
Uh-oh.
love me, okay. So this is I'm going to tell you what she did and what she said. First, we had a meeting one day and the supervisor wasn't there, but I still came in there my cheery, happy, smiley self. And she's just like just looking at me like just staring at me. And I'm just smiling, like, hey, how's your day going? She was like,
Oh,
oh,
don't do that.
she's like, you don't have to be fake today. Like the boss isn't here. You ain't gotta act like that. I'm like, act like what? Like I'm genuinely happy. Like I'm being myself. Like I'm not. This is not a show that I'm putting on. I'm sorry that
That's
you're like
evil.
that's the way you are in your life, but I'm genuinely like this all the time. I'm not putting you on a show. So mind you, like a week later, when you print things out, your name is on whatever computer came from. Your name's on
Okay.
the documentation. So she printed out all of this secret documentation with my name on it from my computer when I went to the restroom,
Wow.
and then she put it all over the building, all over the building. And I was like, how? And then, they're like, this was printed from your computer and you can't have this information just laying out. She put it on the fridge in the kitchen. Like she just put it everywhere. And I'm like, what kind of sick person would do this? And I'm
Right.
like, I already know. I already know.
That's evil.
Yeah. But usually I always lock my computer, but I guess she got me one day. She got me that
Damn
one
sure
day.
did. She damn sure did. She was at dinner with her fat friend telling like, I got this little red bone bitch. Little red bone bitch. She gonna learn today. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was funny.
And shout out to Maurice. He writes, crabs in a bucket, I tell you. Misery
Mhm.
loves company. This is why Quet says stay away from uglies and brokies. He ain't ever lied, and I'm a true believer in it, God damn it. I don't want to be around anybody that's broke or ugly. It's like it's a disease and it's evil. I'm like, if there's a God, why did he do that to you? Maybe the devil did that to you. I'm staying away.
Or people
Maybe
that
that was the
complain
devil.
all the time, like they're so negative. I can't.
I
Mhm.
agree with you there.
Yeah.
Now, okay, now, and I'm trying to stay focused on the solution, eyes on the prize, right? I'm trying to stay solution focused. Do you think that there's a portion of women now of black women, since this is a topic, no disrespect to African American women, but since this is the topic, are there a portion of African American women that are only worth sleeping with? Like we shouldn't do nothing with them. We should only hit them and quit them and not get them pregnant. Just hit them, make sure you don't skeet in them, and then just go. Like, and they deserve to just live and die that way.
You could say that about any woman in any culture.
Mhm. That there's a percentage.
Mhm.
Is there a higher percentage in the African American culture?
I really don't know. I
Okay.
mean, from my observation, no, I would never tell a man just hit it and quit. I would say just leave her alone, period.
Right. I would never tell them to hit it and quit it either. But the thing is, they come to me, they're like, look, Quet, she hella thick. And I'm like, all right, tell me more. And they're like, yeah, she hella thick, but she dumb as hell. She got bad credit.
Mhm.
She ain't seen a dentist in a little while. She broke, got a bad attitude, but I need it in my life. And the reason I say the saint and the sinner, I say, hey, a saint would just leave that girl alone because she
Right.
trash. She trash. He would just leave that alone. But you're 22 and I know what's on your mind. I know what's top of mind for you. So you're about to do the wrong thing. I'm gonna just try to tell you how to do the wrong thing the right way so that you suffer as little as possible. Because the truth is, when you engage in evil, you're going to suffer. You cannot do something evil and not suffer. So like you slaying that fat girl, you shouldn't be doing that. Something bad is gonna result from that. It's just something you're not gonna get out of that scot free. It doesn't happen on planet Earth. You ain't got to wait till after you die to experience hell. So I try to tell them how to do the wrong thing the right way if possible, which is to say, use protection, don't have any children on accident with this imbecile, don't maintain contact with her, don't take her to your real house. Be like, keep her on limited information, don't do it if you work with her. because the problem is not necessarily that African American males are doing things that white guys aren't doing, is that they're not doing it at the same level, right? I
Yeah.
remember, so I've heard strange things like black men cheat so much. I'm like, nah, like the white guys I know, they get they cheat on, but these fools got a whole extra apartment to cheat in. You know, like they cheat game is so damn strong. You don't think they cheat. Like they go on a business trip in London and they got 4, 5 hoes. Like it's just crazy. Like their cheating strategy is magnificent.
I agree.
Yeah,
And
indeed.
yeah,
Um,
you're
go
lowering
ahead.
yourself if you're like, why would you have sex with someone? You're lowering yourself. It's just not worth it, in my opinion. But if that's what you want to do,
Yes, yeah.
hey,
Hey, get like that.